Welcome to PHP Best Practices. In this video, we'll explore coding standards and development techniques, aiming to improve the quality, maintainability, and performance of your PHP applications. Let's get started. Let's discuss code structure and organization. It's crucial to follow a standard structure for your PHP projects. A common practice is to use the PSR4 auto-loading standard. This ensures that your classes are loaded correctly and consistently. As you can see in the example, we define a namespace for the controller, and then we create a user controller class. This structure helps to organize your code and makes it easier to maintain. Now let's talk about naming conventions. Using consistent naming conventions is essential for code readability. For classes and methods, Pascal case is used for classes like database connection. For methods, camel case is preferred like getUserData. For variables and constants, variables should be named using camel case. For example, username or is active. Constants should be in all uppercase with underscores separating words, such as max connections or database host. Consistency in naming makes code easier to understand and reduces the chance of errors. Now we will discuss error handling. Effective error handling is critical for robust applications. Use try-catch blocks to handle exceptions gracefully. In this example, we attempt a database query, and if an exception occurs, such as a database exception, we log the error and throw a custom exception. The finally block can be used for resource cleanup. Proper error handling prevents your application from crashing and provides meaningful feedback. Let's move on to security best practices. Security should be a top priority in your PHP development. Always validate user input to prevent malicious data from entering your system. In the example, we sanitize the user input for email and validate the email to check if it's valid email or not. Also, prevent SQL injection by using prepared statements. Prepared statements ensure that user input is treated as data, not as executable code. These practices are very important for protecting your application. Next, we will look at performance optimization. Optimizing the performance of your PHP application is essential for a good user experience. You can configure the op cache to store precompiled script byte code in shared memory. This drastically improves the speed of PHP applications. Use connection pooling. Connection pooling is the technique of caching database connections so that they can be reused when future requests to the database are required. Connection pools are used to enhance the performance of executing commands on a database. By caching data, you can reduce database load and speed up your application. Now let's discuss documentation standards. Clear and comprehensive documentation is essential for maintainability and collaboration. Use doc blocks to document your code, including function parameters, return types, and exceptions. In this example, we have a doc block above the validate email function that describes the function's purpose, parameters, return value, and any exceptions it may throw. Good documentation makes it easier for other developers, or even your future self, to understand and work with your code. Now we will discuss testing practices. Writing tests is very important for ensuring the reliability of your code. Use unit tests to verify that individual components of your application are working correctly. In this example, we are writing a unit test for user validation. This test creates a new user with a test email address, asserts that the user is valid, and verifies that the email address is correctly set. Testing helps catch bugs early and ensures that your code behaves as expected. Now let's explore code review guidelines. Code reviews are an important part of a collaborative development process. When reviewing code, focus on code quality. Ensure that the code follows PSR standards, uses clear naming conventions, and has proper error handling. Also, pay attention to security and performance. Check for input validation, SQL injection prevention, and optimized queries. Thorough code reviews help improve code quality and reduce the risk of introducing bugs or security vulnerabilities. Now let's look at deployment best practices. Proper deployment practices are essential for a stable and secure production environment. Use environment variables to configure your application, such as setting the application environment, debugging mode, and database connections. Enforce security by setting secure headers, such as redirecting HTTP traffic to HTTPS, and setting secure session cookies. These practices ensure that your application is deployed securely and is configured correctly for the production environment. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.